the NAFTAA Podcast.
Sometimes it may be good, sometimes it may be shit.
NAFTAA Pod, we are back. It is episode 213, episode 49 of the season. Like I said last week, gonna hit 50. We got the entire squad in the building for the first time in a few months. Nick Tucker making his triumphant return. He's been the guy missing the most. Nick, give the people what they want. What is the baseball team's record at this moment?
We are currently 9-11-1.
Damn.
Yeah, and the stat that I was thinking about what you would ask me about this, and all I thought of, the conclusion I came to is that we need Michael Whitaker back on the bump. It's that simple. Of our 11 losses, I'll keep this very short. 9 of them we have lost by 2 runs or less, and 6 of them we've had the lead going in the 6th or the 7th and blown those leads. I've tried 4 different closers.
Just like United.
Worked. Well, that's why I came back on a United win today. I had to wait 2 months to come back for a win. So,
I love a guy who gets ahead of the joke, because I was definitely going to use that twice. I did it off camera, and now I'm going to do it on the pod. Funny story about Michael pitching is one of his buddies is the coach that you're having a kid go to. You're on the Denison,
yeah.
Right? One of your kids, right?
Oberlin,
that's what it is. Michael, I hope you don't mind me telling the story, but they asked you to throw BP, and Michael was like texting our parents being like, oh, they want me to throw BP. You think it's a good idea? My dad called me on the side and goes, that's the dumbest idea ever. Michael's so out of shape now, he would never be able to throw BP. He should not do that. So,
First of all, let me defend myself here. They didn't ask me. I was talking to them about if they ever needed somebody to throw BP. I said that they could get the experience off the worst possible arm angle ever, which is me. 2, I could throw 7 innings right now. It wouldn't be great, but I could do it.
Michael, I'm telling you, batting practice is a totally different ballgame. My elbow, I threw 30 pitches today at practice over regular overhand. My elbow shot, I counted it on a conservative scale. I threw 2,000 pitches last week, and I feel like my elbow is about to explode. I must have thrown 3.5 hours worth of batting practice throughout the week. It's not the same.
Nick, the problem is though, what position in baseball is the best BP thrower? Do you know the answer to that?
Catcher.
Yep. You know who throws like a catcher from the mound?
Not me.
Michael Whitaker.
Me.
Yeah.
So I've thrown over the course of my life probably tens of thousands of pitches from literally right here over and over and over again.
Michael's.
Well, I got the dart going right now because it hurts so much. I'm just flicking. It's in so much pain.
Michael's release angle comes out of his chin, so it's kind of interesting.
I will say though, John, thanks for asking. The record is not indicative of the play. We just can't seem to get over the top. The boys have played very, very well. And I got a kid who's about to potentially break 6 single-season records offensively, which is pretty exciting. So potentially, if the rain holds off, if we get all the rest of our games in, he's already tied 1, and he's literally right on the heels of 5 more, which on the cusp, yes. But it's a really great group this year. I'm gonna be upset when they leave. They're a good group.
Quick reminder: Nick being back, he's a history teacher, not an English teacher. Michael, way to correct him there. The other Tucker brother, Dylan, two in a row. Shout out to you, bro.
Thank you. Sorry, I don't know.
Michael's just laughing at me.
I don't know.
No. It's not at you. It's because I don't want to get into it because it'll take too long. It's because John has been having a fight with New York Times this whole week. He can't do fucking Wordle. He can't do connections. He's struggling. He's having a moment of vulnerability because I've been killing it. So
you can't get the answers?
No, I get the answers, but I bitch about it.
2 different times. What the fuck's the answer? And I'm just like, brother, he's on the 4th guess. He's not even the last one. He just doesn't want to try.
Well, that's
All
when
right.
you type in Wordle hint.
I don't do that. That'd be terrible. All right, let's go over this. The first one I asked about was pious, which is just a bullshit one because you're subjecting all of America who plays this to a religious word. That's bullshit. Shouldn't have to do that.
It's not a religious word. That's just a regular word.
The Catholics have co-opted that word. That is a religious word now.
I will
I'm a
agree
Catholic.
with him there. We've heard pious so many times.
Yeah, Pope Pius. Anyway, and then I will also bang the drum of this other one that everyone else in New York has. There is no fucking reason a mass should be the word. 2 S's and 2 A's. Fuck right on off.
You are.
It sounds like you're not very good at Wordle.
What do you mean?
I got it.
I mean, like, it sounds like your strategy's shit, because I normally get these in 3 or 4, even when there's the double letters.
I don't have anything else to say.
You're not a seasoned vet. You don't.
Nick, welcome back. I'm so pumped for Nick to be back.
Yeah. Let's not deflect, John. We can keep this on you.
You can't win everything, John.
True. I will sacrifice my Wordle expertise to win my 4th.
Do you only know the words that are in the 115 charges in that? Like, was it not in there? Or was amass too hard to account the amount of charges they had?
Well, 115 charges clearly isn't very pious of us, to Michael's point there, and I think we did amass.
But you amassed a lot.
Yeah. Let the slow talker get to his joke there, guys. Come on, East Coast people. Anyway, welcome back. The full crew is here, and obviously we're on another level. 3 games midweek. One of them very big. The other 2 not important really at all. Kind of, I guess.
Yeah, they are.
Man, I know. United. I know. Just relax. Take a breath. It's okay. To our 4 different listeners out there, like, subscribe, and share. Appreciate all of you. And to Mrs. Tucker, you got the boys all back together, and you're back in the Premier League. Nick, any good stories about your mom talking about Leicester?
Outside what she sent us in the text, it has not come back up yet. To be honest with you.
They are also out of the country. So
Yeah,
Where are they at now?
they're in Barcelona.
They're doing some type of bike riding tour up the Pyrenees Mountains.
Like road bike?
Yeah.
No, it's dude. It's electric.
It's an e-bike that's helping them, but
let's not give them too much credit.
It's like training for the Tour de France.
yes. For
Fuck
the Tour
yes.
de Squan.
The Tour de Squan.
Gotta ride a mile to the beach.
Dude, that sounds awesome. Once my knee's better, sign me up.
They got new bikes too, Dylan. I just saw in the garage. They got some e-bikes to go to the beach, which is Uncle Scott in its glory there.
Get there faster.
True.
There are a few people in this world that just live a life that I envy. I got a feeling that the Tucker parents are one of them, along with my parent-in-laws. All right, let's dive into it. We got a lot to get into. Like I said, 2 big games, 1 really big game, 1 not so big game. We got VAR to talk about that Michael's going to take the lead on. Thank you for that. And then we're going to get to our predictions for one of the greatest sports days in the world. I'm not going to fuck up like I did a year or 2 ago and say that it's not cool. Every game at the same time on a Sunday, May 19th. Last game of the season. Michael, do we want to do dudes or do we want to do VAR first? I should ask.
Let's just do VAR because it's really not that big of a deal.
Give us
one of my
Kind of
dudes.
funny.
Give us your VAR thoughts.
Well, it's just that. So shout out to Dylan Tucker for, I'm pretty sure you were the first one to send the paperwork in to Wolves, and they've sent it forward to the Premier League. They basically put out a vote to scrap VAR. So they're gonna. I don't know when the date is, but they're going to have every team vote on it. My guess is that it's not going to be scrapped, just because once they actually get down to it, and how many goals that they would have given up versus they didn't because of VAR. I think some teams will probably go, well, I would have liked to not give up this goal here, whatever, blah blah blah. But I would say you'll probably have 4 or 5 teams. Wolves. I don't know if we will. I think we're kind of like I think we're the benefactor of beneficiary of VAR more times than we aren't, even though it's like been royally bad like a couple times for us. But I think you'll have some like mid-lower table teams do it. I think it should for sure be gone. I think it doesn't fucking work how it's supposed to. But I'd be interested to see. Does anyone think it'll actually get scrapped? I don't know. I think it has to be like 14 teams have to vote yes. So I don't think that's going to happen.
Correct.
No, because all the Big Six needs it.
Well, but you could technically have all not Big Six teams vote for it and it would pass.
Yeah, but there's the 7th team that thinks they're Big Six. So
United?
Yeah.
So Spursy of us.
I could see it passing.
If there was a season to have it pass, it would be this one because it has been so terrible in some key instances where like it's just unacceptable. But I think teams will sit there and they'll go, how many VARs are there? They get like 85% of them right. Okay, I don't want to fuck that up. But I guess a lot of them are, not a lot of them, but there are like offsides ones and stuff like that, which will still be automated. So I'm not sure.
I think the biggest issue, Dylan, before I let you go, is like much like everything else in this world, we're treating the symptom and not the disease here. And the disease is that the refs just suck.
So I just sent you guys, because I was looking at one of the Wolves people I follow, because they've been going off on their story. In the past 5 years, the net score based off of VAR decisions, the Wolves are at minus 17. No wonder why we sent this through. Like, your answer is, Michael, you guys are at the top at +4 behind Brighton.
That's not outside the standard deviation.
But, like, that's such a ridiculous number. No wonder why we did this.
So,
like, I'm not crazy, because I know I've been watching it for years. Now I have a quantifiable number.
No, but there's an issue with that number. There's an issue with that number.
What?
The on-field decision could have been wrong. So the referees are making incorrect calls in your favor. So this
relates to decisions for and decisions against. So based off of just what's ever happened from it.
Right. So
regardless, VAR screwed us. I wish they were making the wrong call. That's what makes us human. That's what makes the game fun. That's what makes celebrating a goal fun. Now, like, literally a goal happens and they look to the referee before actually celebrating, and that's poo-poo, no fun.
Make soccer fun again.
I will say, because, John, I know you bitch about it all the time, but think about that Champions League game, Bayern, Real Madrid, like that last goal, they blew offsides on Bayern, and they, like, didn't get that chance, and they found out, like, he was onside, and he shouldn't have blown. Like, that's why they let you play, even though all the fucking defenders are sitting there going like this, he's off. And I understand, like, when it's obvious, yeah, they're going to put it up. But that's why they wait, and then you're always like, people are going to get injured, which happens. But, like...
Yes, I get it. And in that circumstance, it was so stupid that they called it off that early because the ball was also played in the middle of the pitch. The thing that pisses me off is when this guy is clearly, like, 6 yards or, like, an entire first down offsides. Let me get real American here. And we just let it fucking happen. And the next thing you know, my keeper gets kicked in the thigh, and he's out for 3 weeks.
Yeah, I remember when I think something happened to Van Dijk, and everyone lost their mind. But I do understand, like, if you have the technology and that's how it's going to be used, like, that is something that you have to, like, reconcile with. But, like, maybe just don't fucking hurt people. I don't know.
Anyway, I think it might get passed. I'd be shocked. Guys, any other thoughts before we jump into our dudes of the week?
It's not getting passed. It's going to stay.
Yeah, I don't think it will either.
Because if you fast forward a year and they take it away, and then there's just so many blatant calls, the referees are so bad, they'll make sure they don't pass so they don't expose the referees that much.
I think the referees are relying on it, and it actually focuses them up.
I think that if there was a Vegas line for this, that it gets overturned and then gets returned the next season, I would put all my money on that. I think if it passes, we get 1 year and they go, fuck, we got to get it back. I think that's what the world we live in right now, to be honest with you. But I can't bet on that. So anyway, all right, dudes of the week. Let's start it off here. Nick, welcome back. Lead us off. Michael, actually, Dylan, you should go second, minus 17. That's a tough look. Michael, the video of Jurgen Klopp standing in the middle of Anfield by himself was pretty sad. You can go third, and I'll go fourth.
All right, I'm going to start off with Big Ange. You know, Big Ange telling a Spurs fan who was telling him throughout the game right where to stick it. You compete, you play to win. That's what I'm talking about. And that is great because it's so freaking Spursy. It's beautiful.
To win the game.
The game. It's awesome. I loved it. Right in the fan's face.
Yeah.
Attaboy.
Think Big Ange is going to get fired?
No.
Fuck no. Stupid question.
Line of the episode right there.
This is a really great episode for me. I think people are taking out the fact that we might win our fourth here. Dylan, pick two.
Well, I was going to do Wolves for being leaders of men, but since we kind of just talked about that, I'll do Erik Ten Hag for doing his best Jordan Belfort impression and giving a speech to the United Faithful on why he's not fucking leaving and how he's going to win an FA Cup.
Is it up to him?
No. Still trying.
I think it's gonna end, end similar to how Wolf of Wall Street does, where he's gonna get thrown out of the fucking building. So, I'll give it to first dude of the week for Wolves for being leaders of men. There you go. I don't care. We just talked about it. We'll give it to him again.
Love it. My first dude of the week is going to go to Man United fans. One of mine, I have two friends that are Man United fans. She just sent me a picture of Anthony Martial and Rafael Varane saying goodbye to Old Trafford. And then below it, she sent me a gif of the guy from Lord of the Rings saying, "It's done." So shout out to Man United fans. You're on the up and up. Don't listen to anything that anyone has to say. You guys are back. And then my next dude of the week is the best-looking, newest MLS player, Olivier Giroud. Welcome to the MLS. Good to have you. Shout out to we're anti-LAFC pod because we skew East Coast here, obviously, and Dylan had heartbreak. But good to have Giroud in the MLS, I think.
He's gonna dominate.
And he's gonna look good. He's gonna look good doing it. Yeah, he's so good looking.
I might buy a jersey just because.
Oh, hey, their jerseys are pretty good looking too. He had the black pinstripe one on today. Looked pretty nice. Pretty nice. Michael?
Pretty good.
I don't give a shit about him. I got John Duran for absolutely coming on and scoring the most audacious third goal for Aston Villa against us. I don't think he knew what he was doing. I think it deflected, like he tried to collect it and deflected. But how it deflected and how he started running to the corner flag before it ever went in, I don't care. He meant to do it. It was unreal. He's also just a sick player. I really want him to be like, he's pretty consistent in that lineup, like off the bench. But I think he could be like really, really good. He's an absolute physical beast. So shout out to him. I'm not
also,
biased.
We've talked about this before. The fact that he played for Chicago.
Yeah.
Crazy.
MLS.
Like insane.
There you go.
Yeah. Shout the MLS. Dylan?
Shea Adams for being a bro and waiting out his contract so a team that doesn't have a ton of money can sign him for free in the Midlands to get a striker depth. So good guy, Shea Adams.
I can't wait to make shirts next year that says who's going to score for Wolves and on the back say Che fucking Adams. That's a seller. Nick, double dip.
First one is going to be Amad Diallo for an absolute laser beam today. That dude needs to play more, period, next year. He needs to be on the pitch. And to wrap it up, my dudes of the week, it's going to be a sad one. It's going to be a farewell. A sad farewell to Luton Town. They've been an unbelievable blast to watch this season. They don't deserve to go down, but they are going down. So I don't think I shout them out all year. I'm going to shout them out now. Hopefully we see you back up here soon.
Pro Luton pod. As much as we're anti-LAFC, we're pro Luton. Dylan, back to you.
I'm going to go non-soccer for this one. And Rory McIlroy. And anytime the PJ Championship's in Valhalla, he seems to always break up with his significant other. So, in case you didn't know, he got out of his engagement right beforehand, won the PJ Championship. So, before we get the betting corner, just a heads up, he just got a divorce, probably going to win the PGA Championship.
And then
seen some videos. He was hitting bombs. I talked myself into this.
Then sign with Liv for like $800 million and not have to give her a damn penny.
Tiger Woods really is his mentor, huh? God damn, Michael.
All right, just so we never get talked about for being so incredibly biased against Chelsea. I'm gonna shout out Chelsea because at this moment they are 3 points behind Spurs. If Spurs somehow lose, which they won't, but if they do lose to Sheffield United and Chelsea win, think about how positively we have talked about Spurs and the style of play and how negatively we have been on Chelsea this whole season, and they would have actually gotten to 6th place ahead of them. Just a crazy, like, you don't look at that part of the table for a while, and then you do, and you see that, and they've just been on a tear the rest of this season, like the end of the season, so feels wrong not to shout them out if it's a Prem podcast.
Old news, Michael didn't listen to last week's pod. I shouted him out, so.
I was busy, dude. I started working.
Yeah, congrats to Michael.
Welcome to society, buddy.
The workforce.
You don't understand how actually happy I am to be here.
My man was like, I got health insurance. Shout out to Michael. Shout out to Chelsea.
I could go to the doctor.
All right, my last one is one that should have been my first one, but I wanted to save it to see if anyone else was going to call him out. Stefan Ortega, the only reason that City are going to maybe get a 4th Premier League in a row.
Oh, touch the money.
You already won.
Touch the money.
Ederson
not good. You're great.
Ederson not happy that he got taken off at all. But I think from the 69th minute, when Ortega went on to the end of the game, I think he had 6 saves. So just insane. And if nothing else, he's going to help us with FFP because we'll sell his ass.
Do you think he's going to get the tattoo on his leg like Martinez did from where he made that save on Son?
2 different types of people, no shot.
Also, like 2 very different trophies, as I think everyone here would agree. Like if he does that for Germany in the World Cup, yeah, maybe. But Farmers League that the Premier League is now, who knows? All right, dudes of the week done and dusted. We got the 3 games of the week. Let's start off with the least important of them. Brighton 1, Chelsea 2, Palmer in the 34th, and Nkunku in the 64th, and Welbeck in the 90th +7. Give Chelsea another dub. Chelsea's rolling. Michael called him out. No one else did. Michael did. Called him out. Shout out to Chelsea.
I was
Sick.
Sketch thing.
Yeah.
They're playing really well. Brighton not playing super good. They did beat Newcastle last week, so maybe you thought it was a blip, but they're on a roll.
All right, I got you guys on. I definitely asked Dylan this, or we kind of briefly went into it last week. Why is no one reporting on just the downfall shambles that De Zerbi is in the second half?
Because it's Brighton.
That's a great question. Yeah, it's not. Again, he was flying. He was Icarus.
Yeah.
Is he Italian? He's Italian, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the so. Italian Icarus. I just think it's weird. I think that like no one's talking about it. Maybe that's the punishment. No one talks about you anymore.
That's what they always say about WWE guys. It's been a boo or a cheer. No pop is a bad pop.
True.
It's just better. Better in the case of like. Not better. It's like Chelsea or United. United's ahead of them. Chelsea's ahead of them, but like they are who they are. So you're going to talk about even when Chelsea is really bad and United is very bad, or they're very good. You're going to talk about them in both cases. Like you're going to throw out Brighton are all the way in 6th. That's incredible. Like they're doing a great job, but like the expectations are not the same year to year for them. So, like, if they do fall off a little bit, like, unless they're getting relegated, they're not going to get talked about if they're just having a okay season.
They're wherever they're exactly where you thought they'd be. Like, they're lucky that they didn't have the Burnley effect, where they got into Europe finally and they were down. Was that the year they got relegated, or maybe it was the next year? But
2 years, 2 years after. Yeah.
But that pretty much took all the momentum away from them that they had. Finishing 10th, having a decent run in Europe, it's got to be a good season.
I agree.
Yeah, don't disagree. United, Manchester United 3, Newcastle 2. Manu in the 31st. Gordon tied it up in the 49th. Diallo, like Nick said, in the 57th, gave United the lead again. And then Højlund, honestly, I was watching this whole game. That goal for Højlund was pretty good in the 84th. Hall got one back in 90+2. But I will say this. A nice thing about Man United, did not expect them to even sniff a win in this one, and they got it done. So, Nick, give me your thoughts.
Don't cut him out with the backs to the wall. Maybe they got his back, that they got Ole's back, I just can't wait for this season to be over. Like, I'm so scared for this. I'm so scared for this thrashing that we're going to take at Wembley. Like, I mean, Casemiro at center back, and all the highlights I've watched it's like watching one of those, like, United versus Bayern Munich Legends fundraiser games, with him out there with Johnny Evans next to him and all, the only Premier League winner on the team, whatever it is. I'm happy they won. At least this way, they won't finish below 8th, which is a pathetic thing to say, and that's where they'll finish. Good for them. But hopefully they play some youth next year. Look into the future, boys. Fuck this season. I'm out. Who's coming with me?
It's still, I think you guys are still kind of on the cusp of maybe having the worst Premier League season in United history, I'm pretty sure.
I mean, unless Newcastle loses and we win, we're finishing 8th. So, it's right there for us. It's right there for the taking.
I love this version of Nick. Guys, any other thoughts on this one?
They tried to blow it. Also, Newcastle doesn't know how to play away from home still, which is wild.
Still don't.
They actually, it's like so weird. It's like sometimes they do, and then sometimes they're like exactly how we thought they'd be, and they're not very good.
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
I'm just glad I'm just glad that you said that this wasn't the game that didn't matter. I thought you were going to say our game was the one that didn't matter. At least we got a little bit of respect in this place.
Bro, both these games mattered.
Nah, that first one really doesn't matter.
I mean, the Cole Palmer FC, baby. He's got to get his goal.
Dude, if Newcastle won, Chelsea's in 7th. Like, Newcastle would have been ahead of them. Now it's in Chelsea's hand to get into Europe, like any Europe spot now. Like, they have their own destiny.
Good for them. They certainly bought it.
Doesn't matter. Well, okay, never mind. I was gonna say Newcastle too a little bit, but they actually haven't been. So they lost their most expensive asset to gambling. So.
Yeah, fuck, miss that guy. Dylan's lost a lot of expensive assets to gambling. All right, let's get into the big one. It was the first game of the week. Thank you for clearing your throat, Michael. Needed it. Tottenham 0, City 2, Højlund in the 51st and 90+1. They eradicate the demon of playing at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Pep sets himself up for the dub, but the main story going through all of soccer media is if you want your own team to lose so that your rival doesn't win, are you a shitty fan, a small club mentality? What is your thought process on that? And I think we need to go around the horn on this one because it's a hot button item. Dylan, you have no court time so far. Please lead us off.
I could go either way, but ultimately, you don't let your rival win. The U19 should have been out. For what Ange is building and what him as a coach, I think it makes sense why he's saying what he's saying. But when you are a part of a club that constantly chokes and you just expect to never win, your victory is making sure your rival never can't win either. That is your Super Bowl. Sorry, Spurs fans.
It is what they live for, just to make sure Arsenal don't get it. Nick?
I can give you a direct quote from a Spurs fan on his thoughts if you'd like that.
Is he an American Spurs fan?
He's my buddy that I think you two should get in a ring with.
Is he an American though?
It's the one you want to debate, Michael.
Yeah, it's the one you want to debate. You two together would be that's better than what just got lined up on CNN in June.
What's that? The presidential?
ABC in September too.
Yeah, they just agreed to it. Yeah.
Oh God.
Tottenham played City. City wins. They basically win the league, and Tottenham don't budge from their spot. Tottenham wins. Arsenal basically wins the league. Tottenham throws the game to fuck over Arsenal to the joy of basically 99% of England and Spurs fans.
Not wrong.
No.
Accurate. Is he going to be a reporter one day?
I mean, I thought that was pretty much the common thought, is that the way I don't want you to win it is the way that they don't want them to win it.
You don't care that much.
Actually, you're right. I don't want Michael to fucking win. Simple as that.
Yeah, exactly. Let's call the spade a spade there. Like, the City United is not a rivalry. One,
you'll never beat us.
You beat the piss out of you every game, and two, like, you just don't care. You'd rather not see Liverpool win it.
True. That's very true.
Very.
Very short-term revisionist history there, John, but I'll accept it for now.
Love it. Michael?
Caught a stray there. Don't know why. This is the I don't know if it's just my like hyper. I mean, you guys all played sports. Like my hyper competitive bullshit. Like you don't ever go out and lose a game. It's not what you do. You're a professional. You go win the game.
Better question. You have a chance to beat Monmouth in the Patriot League. Is Monmouth in the Patriot League?
No.
Who else is in the Patriot League?
Good try.
No, you got a chance to beat. I know that's what I'm saying though. You got a chance to beat Army, and if you beat Army, Lehigh wins the division. Do you do it?
Do I get into the playoffs?
I don't know. Do you get into the playoffs and then get pumped by like 4 goals by a Spanish team? Then I don't know. Like, what does that matter?
I don't know. That's just how I'm being too literal here. I get what you're saying. I was trying to work something that did not work out.
How did I get filibustered?
True. We took Michael's time.
Because you know what happened now? Because you have Villa, who just tied on 68 points, who go to Crystal Palace, which at this moment is like the hardest game in the world for some reason. And instead you lost to Man City, and if you beat Man City, or like I think they tried to, so I'm not criticizing them, but I'm saying the mindset is if you go beat Man City, you're on 66 points, and you can still get Champions League. Now you're for sure not going to get Champions League because you fucking lost. So how does this progress your club at all?
In the grand scheme of things, Andrew's right. But from a fan's mentality, when you know you never win anything and you guys always blow it. Yes, John?
Spin zone. If you're Spurs, you got a better shot of winning the Europa League than the Champions League.
That's a great point. This is a better path for them to win a trophy.
Yeah,
they couldn't even win the Conference League when it first came out.
They weren't even showing up to those games. They didn't realize that those countries were real that they had to go to. They're like, Bulgaria? No way. They have teams there? That was the mindset. I get it.
I heard they hate us there. I'm not sure why.
For sure. Yeah, exactly. For sure not. I think it's... I mean, obviously, I'm happy that we won, but I'll tell you what, watching that game, if anyone really thought they were throwing it, they're idiots. Like, Son wanted to score. Yeah. So, like, I think that's just stupid. I love Big Ange. I think that's awesome. I hope that he's around for a while. He is, after Klopp, now probably my favorite coach that's not my own in the league, easily.
He's doing everything right.
Yeah. Saying all the right things.
Except for his flip-flopping on VAR when it suited him. That's pretty fucked up. But everyone's doing that, so.
Yeah, that's just what's in vogue. Back to the game, the actual game. Ortega was the story, easily, and just played out of his mind. Yeah.
Why? Because I didn't get to watch. I was working. Why did Ederson get taken off?
So he got, kicked. There was a play where there was a loose ball. He came up a little limp, and I think Pep was like, I know one way we're not about to lose if I have an injured keeper and he gets beat because he's injured. I don't think Ederson was actually injured. And I think that message didn't get sent to Pep very well. And Ederson kept saying, I'm not injured. And Pep was like, just go. To be honest with you, I love Ederson. I don't know if he saves all those, dude.
I remember talking to you about Ortega. He's good. He's a legitimately good kid. Him and Kelleher are easily the 2 best backups in the league.
Yeah. Very good. So
way too good to be backup.
I'd take him at United.
Yeah. I will say this. Onana kind of some like big negatives, obviously, some really bad performances. He's had some really good ones though too. Like, you gotta give him credit.
He's also decapitated 2 people and somehow he got a card.
He
9 months later.
Loves killing
9
people.
months later.
was that week 2? Was that week 1 or week 2?
Week 1.
We won the first.
We've come full circle.
If we didn't have that minus 17, if we didn't have that minus 17 in VAR, this conversation would be how are the Wolves about to sneak into the 6th place spot.
They've been drafting this VAR thing since week 1 of the season.
I do feel like out of those minus 17 points, that open field tackle by Onana is 12 of those 17. It feels that way, to be honest with you. City win, though. We're in the driver's seat. We got one last game. Let's get into the predictions for the last week of the season. Boys, let's get a quick update. First things first, I have to acknowledge when I'm wrong. And I was wrong yesterday because I gave everyone a win for the Liverpool game and forgot that they actually drew it. So, we're back to the drawing board. What's up, Nick?
I just want to let you know, as the only teacher in the room here, when the teacher makes a mistake on a test and gives you credit for something that you didn't do, it's only fair and just to let them keep the credit because of your mistake. And it shows great accountability and responsibility on your part, setting a positive example.
Yep. Well, everyone... Huh?
I'm the daddy. I caught it. I'm the teacher. John is the student.
No, what I'm saying is that if I mark things on a test correct when it's actually incorrect, I don't take the points away from them. I let them keep it.
Yeah, but all of us
works. You're setting these kids up to fail.
Yeah, I mean, soft. How many participation trophies you give them too?
Well, the problem is that I don't make any mistakes, so that's probably their issue.
Anyway,
you're misunderstanding. I am the teacher. I caught his mistake and I corrected it because I am in charge of the doc.
He's the captain.
So you're the one that locked me out of it?
I don't remember doing that. So I'm not sure.
This is just dead air at this point. Michael,
this is the best part.
You are the teacher. You're 207 and 163 already clinched the big dub. We talked about that last week, but right now 44 games over 500. Damn. How's it feel?
Feels great. I would love to get to 210. I need 3 wins. That would be a sick little milestone. But I think
that's the all-time record.
All-time record is 203.
Oh, is it? You checked?
Yeah, I already beat it. Yeah.
Damn. Sick. Do we need to drug test you or something? I feel like this is a big McGuire moment.
I already took 2.
Check the doc for edit history.
Yikes. 207.
Dude, don't.
207 and 163. That's Michael. 195 and 175. Myself. Nick on my heels. I believe 191, 179. I got a feeling most of our picks are going to be pretty similar, so I don't think you're going to catch me. But Dylan, that's the big news here. Going into the last week, 185 and 185. My man's got to go 500. We need 5 out of Dylan. 6 would be great.
You're about to get my inner monologue on every one of these picks to try and just find this. I just need to find 6 winners. Just need 6.
Just got to find a strand, a thought. All right, let's dive into it. First game. They're all at the same time. I always do this last week. I apologize. Arsenal. They're going to host Everton. Who do we got? Michael, lead us off, brother.
Arsenal.
Yeah, all right. Dylan?
Arsenal.
Nick?
Arsenal, and shout out to Everton for staying up.
Hey, good call, Hank. Welcome back, brother. I think we can count it, Michael. There's 1 win for you probably, and 1 win for Dylan for sure. So we need to get to 5.
No, don't say that.
Do it.
I just want to see Arsenal lose on the last week. That's the only reason I'm saying this. Brentford, Newcastle. It's at Brentford. We know Newcastle not greatest on the road. Dylan, who you got?
I have no idea. Newcastle has something to play for. Brentford doesn't. Brentford's home. I'm going to go with the team that has something to play for and hope Newcastle saves me.
Okay, I like it. Nick?
Going with the Bees.
Ooh, home pick. Michael?
I got Newcastle.
I got Newcastle too. I think we're going to lead off with Dylan every time because he's going to have the most insight. Brighton, hosting Man United. The season ends on the Nick Tucker family derby. Dylan?
I think both these teams suck right now. I'm going with Brighton because they're home and United is resting people to get ready for the FA Cup.
So this is my thought. Brighton already close to the beach, might already be on the beach. I think United get another win because they got that FA Cup game. I'm going United. Michael?
You guys forget, doesn't matter if you're on the beach. When there's certain teams come to town, you play. I got Brighton.
Okay. Nick?
Also, Vegas odds have Brighton favored too.
I had Brighton until 4 minutes ago when I remembered we won today and we had the FA Cup final, so I switched it to United in hopes of momentum.
There you go. Got to get the big Mo on your side. Burnley.
0 out of 10 confidence in that too, by the way.
Burnley hosting Forest. Dylan, talk us through this one for you.
Forest technically has to not lose by 6, so they will be coming out guns a-blazing and scoring all the goals.
The first ever
Nuno, don't let me down now.
The first ever back 8 in Premier League history. Nick, who you got?
I think Vincent Kompany lets the boys loose and they actually just play with some freedom, and I think they're going to play well. They're going down last Premier League game till who knows when. They're going to want to show up, so going with the Clarets.
It's at Burnley too. I had like the same thought. Like I was like I could see Burnley winning this, so I picked a draw. Michael?
Whenever Burnley play free and open and try to play possession football, they get absolutely cooked. So I have Forest.
Love it, love it. Chelsea's going to host Bournemouth. This is Dom Solanke's audition for his new team next year, I got a feeling.
Please
Dylan?
no.
Dylan, what are you thinking here?
Again, Chelsea have something to play for. However, if I get my... No, they can't get to it. Bournemouth is playing for top 10 or to be in 10th, which could mean something. But I'm going to do the same thing I did last time, and I'm taking Chelsea.
And holding your nose. I love that.
Yeah.
Also, I'll call myself out here because apparently my phonics suck, my spelling sucks. I'm not good at Wordle. Spelled Bournemouth, which is...
Been doing that for a couple weeks.
Yeah, which is the next bad guy on the next Zoolander movie. Nick, who you got?
I'm with Dylan. Chelsea got something to play for, and they're going to keep it rolling.
Yeah, Michael?
I also have Chelsea. If Dom Slinky goes back to Chelsea, I will actually rage.
I think that you guys had the right concept. Who has something to play for? I actually think Dom Solanke has something to play for here. I think he's going to try to get on the England squad and get bought next season. 3 goals, hat trick to end the season for Dom. Palace hosting Villa. This is the best game of the week, I think. Easily. I don't know. Palace, really good. Galacticos, Villa, whatever. Dylan, who you got?
Palace wins in a landslide because Villa's hungover as shit because they just made the
Champions League. Yeah. Good call. Nick?
Not a terrible analysis there.
Yeah.
You convinced me, Dylan. I'll switch my pick from Villa to Palace. I like it.
Michael?
Palace absolutely. There's going to be a lot of win or draw bets on this, but I think it's a pretty safe week.
I'm going... Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, the cover on the Premier League website, literally, it just has Unai just popping champagne all over the place. They're hungover as shit.
Fair. But I'm going to go Palace. I don't know. Or I'm going to go Villa. I don't know why, but I'm just going to go Villa. I think if Palace wins, there's not as good of a chance than if they lose that they'll finish in 12th, and we all know where they deserve and need to be. So that's what I'll say. Liverpool hosting Wolves. A NAFTAA Pod derby to end the season. Dylan?
I mean, there's absolutely no way the Wolves come into Anfield and spoil Klopp's last game. So I'll be taking Liverpool, knowing the irony of me going 4-6 because the game that I lose that flips this is the Wolves ending the season winning at Liverpool, which would be dope. I'd be okay with that, but Liverpool's going to win 5-0.
Nick?
Oh, yeah, Liverpool. There's no chance this isn't like a 7-0 drubbing.
Yeah. I don't know about that, though, because I got a feeling this group of Liverpool players don't have that in them, to be honest with you. Michael, over under how many times Klopp cries?
He'll cry the whole game. He'll cry at the beginning. Actually, he'll cry at the beginning, he'll cry at the end, and we always like do the whole like trip around, like everybody, they'll bring their kids out and shit. He'll cry the whole time he does that, too.
Yeah. So you got Liverpool? Yeah, I got Liverpool, too.
Are you going to cry, Michael?
Yeah, actually, great question.
Michael?
I'm not a crier.
It's not what I asked.
Me saying I'm not a crier means I probably will not cry.
I'm not a crier either, but, I cry sometimes.
I don't cry. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It just doesn't happen for me.
Yeah. Luton hosting Fulham. I didn't want to say it. I'm glad you did. Luton hosting Fulham. Dylan.
I just wavered. I put my trust and faith in Luton too much, and they've let me down. I think they have to win by 6 goals, which means it'll be so wide open that Fulham ends up winning.
Probably true. I got Luton, though, because I just want to bet on them one more time. I want to put my money on that pony one last time. Is that Luton? Nick?
Yeah, I'm with you. I want them to win. I want them to have a really fun last moment because God knows where they're going to end up in the next 5, where they could be in the next 5 years. So definitely bet them in a goal 75 minute thereafter, though, for sure.
Parachute payments. Michael?
I have Fulham because I just think the wind is out of the sails. I think it's really nice when you want to send your fans and everybody out, but I just don't think that they have it in them. I think they've been punching above their weight for a while.
Sheffield United hosting Spurs. Dylan, who you got?
Spurs. United are atrocious.
Yeah. I get Spurs. Nick,
no matter which
Sam?
United I'm talking about.
Yeah, Spurs.
Michael?
Spurs.
City hosting West Ham. Is there any chance that Man City do not win and Arsenal win the league and you subsequently win as the only person to pick Arsenal to win the league this season? Dylan, we're on you again.
You guys are the greatest team to ever grace this earth. There's absolutely no way you guys can lose at all. You always have West Ham's number. Congratulations. Like, we're seeing history with you guys winning 4 in a row. Really cool.
Love it. Michael, you got real close to the camera. It looks like you want to say something too.
Minus 1,100 Manchester City win on this game. There's 0% chance you guys lose this.
Nick?
Yeah, I wish I had something witty to say or follow those two up because that pretty much sums it up. City.
Yep. City, 4th in a row. Only team ever to do that in the Premier League era. 4 in a row. Modern
so
history.
Proud of you.
Right? Yeah. I had a lot to do with it.
That's all they got.
We got treble as well. Champions League.
That's what I said. Modern history. It's all they got.
Anyway, join us in the offseason for our historical pod and where we argue things that we cannot prove. Big season, guys. We've made it all the way through yet again. Second in the row with the whole squad. 4th for Michael and myself. Do we feel exhausted?
I don't know. I'll keep predicting games.
You'll keep predicting games? What'd you say, Dylan?
Yeah,
I love predicting games.
Yeah.
I'm a big game predictor as well. The editing, the other stuff kind of sucks sometimes. But, all right. Done and dusted. We are out. Second to last episode of the season. Will be a thrilling Sunday. Always a ton of fun. And when we are back on the pod, we will know who the champions of the Premier League are. And we'll do a little FA Cup preview. Nick, we got to make sure you're on that one.
Yeah, I can just tell you how much we're going to lose by. It's pretty much, I can sum up my discussion right there.
All right, real quick before we go, if you guys win the FA Cup, thoughts on Ten Hag?
Knight him.
Is Ten Hag the worst coach to ever win the FA Cup? All right, Dylan, get us out of here with a joke, dude.
Didn't even want my bets anymore. This is hurtful. All right. Why did the chicken get ejected from the soccer game? Persistent foul play. Cheers.
The NAFTAA Podcast.
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.